Greetings, Benjamin J. from Ben's Trains with another in the series. Well, what you're looking at is a Lionel flat car, an El Cheapo, in fact. This came with that set that I got last week. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video on a way to convert one of these cars into a fairly decent looking crane. Anyway, as you can see, I've taken a Marx crane out of the parts box and just mounted it with a screw onto this Lionel flat car. Now, the interesting thing about this flat car is that I converted it to a transition car. As you see, it's got Lionel trucks with a Lionel coupler on one side, and I added a tab and a slot, so you can just flip this back and forth. So in this case, I've taken the Sound of Power tender and moved it to the rear behind this flat car, and I'm using the tab and slot to couple with it, and I've got the lighted tender up in front, so I've just moved the Sound of Power tender back here. And of course it doesn't have a coupler. It's designed to go directly on the locomotive, and so this transition car came in really handy. So anyway, since I was going to be running this, I just took that old Marx crane body and just mounted it with a screw. Really simple to do. And you have an instant rail car. Instead of just having a flat car that's empty, you can stick this crane body on it. It only takes a minute. It mounts with a single screw. It still swivels. Now I've mounted the hook on a piece of wire, as you can see. And then I have a rubber band going under the flat car around the hook to capture it so it doesn't swing. And this actually runs really well. And it looks nice, and it costs nothing. That's the nice thing about it. Just made out of parts out of the parts box. But in this case, it came in really handy. It looks nice, and it's also a transition car. So a really simple way to upgrade an old flat car to a fairly nice piece of rolling stock that doesn't look bad at all. And it's really functional because it's also the transition car between Lionel and Marx, or Marx and Lionel. So it looks good. It came in really handy for this application, especially for towing that Sound of Power tender. As you see, it works. It works really well. Really simple, didn't cost anything. We got a grand total of 5 minutes to put this together. It took longer to mount the hook than it did to actually mount the crane body on that car. Like I said, a single screw. I just used a sheet metal screw. And of course the crane pivots 360 degrees. So it doesn't look bad. It came in really handy. It's really functional because it makes a great transition car. And you can just swing this coupler around and have Lionel couplers on both ends, or Lionel coupler on one end and a tab and slot on the other. So in this case, it came in really, really handy. It was really simple. It really improved the look of this car. And like I said, this is a entry-level car, so it's completely made of plastic. Plastic trucks, steel axles of course, but plastic trucks with cast non-operating couplers. But like I said, I just put a tab and slot on one end, so it makes a great transition car. Like I said, you can pull, or you can couple Lionel to Marx or Marx to Lionel. It works really, really well. And then, like I said, a rubber band to capture that hook, and you have a decent looking piece of rolling stock that didn't cost anything at all. And it's really functional because it's also the transition car. And it worked out perfectly for pulling that tender. As you see. So it was fun to make. Turned out to be a really decent piece of rolling stock that didn't cost anything. So if you have a bunch of parts, you can mix and match them, Marx to Lionel, Lionel to Marx, whatever, and put together some decent rolling stock that you don't have to buy. You can just make it. And in this case, it's actually quite functional because it's also the transition car. Anyway, I thought it looked pretty good. It works really well. It didn't cost anything. It's really difficult to beat that combination. Anyway, I just want to do a quick video on this. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.